Welcome to the Working with Activities tutorial. This tutorial is designed to teach you the basics on activities so you can get started using them quickly. Activities can be used to record initial communications with contacts, as well as to create reminders for future activities that will show up in pink on the activity screen and the activities panel on the company screen. To begin, I'll go over how to create new activities, how to edit activities, and how to complete activities from a company screen. Then, after that, we'll take a look at the activity screen. Let's start by opening up a company screen. I'll do this by selecting one of my most recent companies from the left side of the main user interface. Now I'll open up a contact. Activities are added from the contact window by clicking on New Note up at the top. It offers a lot of flexibility on the floating activity window. Along the top is where you select the type of activity. There are options for phone call, email, fax or letter, task, or appointment. By default, the class is set to normal. Drop-down selections are customizable in the setup and can be defined in the activity for purposes like searching. The contact information is predefined, carrying over from the contact. However, you can easily change the contact by clicking your cursor in the name field and selecting a different contact from the drop-down menu. Choosing a different contact will automatically change the rest of the contact information. Below that, there is a field for entering the subject. The subject line shows up in activity lists on the activity screen and in the activities panel on the company screen. What's entered in the subject field is completely up to the person creating the activity. Below that are the date and time selection and a drop-down to select the owner. By default, the owner is predefined as the contact's owner. Below that is where you can select a reminder which will appear as a window on the application screen. But this is a more advanced feature that we'll go over in a later tutorial. You'll notice a large field that can be used for typing in notes or copying and pasting text from other applications. An example could be from a Word document, spreadsheet, or an email. It can also be left blank. This is entirely up to the individual creating the activity. To save an activity, you click on Save Activity up at the top. Save Plus allows you to simultaneously save the current activity and schedule a future activity at the same time. So you can see this in action. I'm going to show you a couple of examples now using contacts from the Lansing Instrument Corporation. First, I'll show you how to schedule a future call for follow-up on shipping. Then I'll show you how to record a cold call and simultaneously schedule a future cold call from that. Since I've already got Dorsey open, we'll start with her. I'll keep phone call selected, then I'll type in follow-up on shipping in the subject field. Let's say we know that it shipped today and takes 2 days to get there. We'll schedule the activity for 3 business days out. I can either type in the date or use a calendar by clicking on the calendar icon. Now for the notes area. Let's say the shipment is fulfilling only part of an order. I might reference that. I may even include the tracking number. As a sales rep, you'll add what's easiest for you to quickly open up and follow through with. When I'm finished, I'll click on Save. Later, you'll see where this will appear on the activity screen. For the cold call, let's open up Amy Jones. You can see here that Amy is the IT manager for a new branch that just opened up in November. I'll click on New Note, then I'll type in cold call in the subject field. In Notes, I'll say left message on voicemail. I'll leave the date as today. I'd like to mention here that in the setup, custom shortcut keys can be set up to allow users to enter common notes for increased efficiency, but this is a more advanced feature that we won't go over in this tutorial. Up at the top left, you'll notice a date field. This shows how far out the future activity will be scheduled for. By default, the demo system has it set for 14 days. The default can be changed in settings. Here I can choose to leave the default or schedule it for a different length of time out by days, or I can specify an exact date. I'm going to schedule this for 7 days out. Then I'll click on Save Plus. Now, when I look below at the activities list, I'll see the completed activity in gray or white and the open activity in pink. If I open up the open cold call activity, I have the option of editing. Since this will be my second cold call, I might put in a number 2 in the subject line. To save the edit, I'll just click on Save. Now you can see that the edit is reflected here in the activity list. Now let's take a look at the activity screen. We can get to that by clicking on Activities up on the main menu. The activity screen is the to-do list. Up at the top are past due activities, in the middle are today's activities, and at the bottom are future activities. Remember those activities we just created from the Lansing page? Here we have the follow-up on shipping activity, and here's the cold call number 2 activity. To drill down into a particular activity, click Select next to the activity. For any activity type other than an appointment, this will open the activity window as well as the associated contact window from the company screen. At this point, activities can be edited or completed. To complete an activity, simply select the completed checkbox and click on Save. Before ending, I'd like to mention that activities can also be created using the Options menu from the Activity screen and from Opportunities, which would allow those opportunities to be opened directly from an activity window. However, this is a more advanced way of creating activities, so we won't be going over that now. Personally, I find creating new activities from contacts to be the simplest method of creating activities and use this method the vast majority of the time. This concludes the tutorial. Thank you for watching.